Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this set of tutorials. My name is Tim Stack, and I work for the Utah Education Network. And in this set of tutorials, I would like to go through the process of using Adobe Dreamweaver CS4 to create a layout using CSS. Now we're going to jump right into that pretty quick here, but before I get started, I want to just show you where you can get sample files if you want to follow along and have some sample files, the same ones that I'll be using. And actually they're just a couple of images, so here is my UEN page, and the URL for it is right here at the top, so my.uen.org/46807, and that will get you to my UEN page. And if you click on this tab that says Conferences and Presentations, and then you'll see a folder here with CSS sample files. Inside of that is a folder that has been zipped up, and you just download that, unzip it, and you'll have the same set of sample files that I will be using. Okay, I'm going to close that off there. That should give you enough time to write down those things. Now the layout that we're going to create in this set of tutorials is just a simple two-column layout, and I've got an example of it up here. So you can see it's got 5 primary regions, sort of a header region, a top navigation region with a couple of links in there with some simple rollovers, 2 columns, a right column here for content and a left column for another navigation bar there, subnav, or pretty much anything else, and then a spot down here for a footer. So pretty simple layout. But when we create a layout in using CSS, it's nice to sort of start with a nice, clean, simple layout and then go from there. Now, one quick word about CSS. I'm kind of assuming a little bit of CSS knowledge. This isn't a basic CSS tutorial, but just a little bit of background with CSS here. So this page that you're looking at now, our little sample file, it actually takes 2 documents to create this layout. All right, so one is the HTML document, which basically holds the content. And the second document is the CSS document, and that CSS document has the instructions for where this content is supposed to show up on my page and how it is supposed to be formatted. The color, the background images, what the background color is supposed to look like, the links, what are they supposed to look like, and the positioning, where stuff is laid out on the page. And if let me just turn off the styles here. You can see, so now I am just seeing the plain HTML document. Still have the 2 headers up here at the top, my navigation, which ends up as a bulleted list, and then I have my left column there, a couple of paragraphs that are in the right column, and then this footer information down here. So with the CSS turned off, you can see it's just plain, usually plain text. Often there might be a few images in here if there were some images in the content. But everything else goes away. Everything else is on the style sheet. And then if I switch to the style sheet, here's what this style sheet is looking like. So the instructions on how to make things look and where to put stuff. So you can see there's my left column, and it says, hey, I want this region or this rectangle or this box to have a padding of 20 pixels. I want it to float to the left. I want it to be 140 pixels wide. And it's going to have a background image that is going to repeat. Well, anyway. So those are my 2 documents. Now I am using this nice little. Let me just back it up here. This little toolbar that I'm using here to turn the styles on and off. This little toolbar is a little add-in to Firefox that is a little web design add-in that lets me turn on and off the style sheets. And I'm just going to pull this up so you can see. This add-in is called the Web Developer 1.1.6. So if you're interested in that and you use Firefox, just go to the Firefox menu and you can under Preferences here, go and find add-ins that you can do. And this one's called the Web Developer. And one thing it does let me do is, it does a lot of stuff, but really the thing that I use it for is to sort of turn style sheets on and off, or turn the CSS on and off, so I can see stuff, see how the CSS is working, test things out. So that's going to be our layout. You can do this on other websites as well. Let me just, here's another site. I'm going to disable the style sheets here, and when I do that, you can see the content becomes very text-based, so all the formatting goes away and all that's left is the content that was on this page. So kind of fun to see, and a nice little tool to help me understand how CSS is working on different pages. Alright, so let's get rid of this and go into Dreamweaver. Now, what I would expect is if you're going to follow right along, you would have gotten those sample files and you would have created a root folder on your desktop or on your computer somewhere, and have gone in and defined this practice site. And you can see I just called it CSS layout here, and so I've got CSS layout, and there it's pointing towards my folder that is holding those sample files. And I've got an extra one that you probably don't have, this assets one. That's just for some other stuff, but really the images, you can see I've got 3 images that I'm going to use in this layout, and then so those are the JPEGs, and then I have the PNGs that go with them. So if I wanted to edit them some more or adjust them a bit, I've got the PNGs available to do that, sort of my master copies. So the one thing that I don't have in here now is an HTML document to get started working on. So I'm just going to come up and right click or control click on my site folder and do new file, and I'm just going to name this layout.html. So that's the document that I'm going to work on in Dreamweaver, and if I double click on it, that'll open up. I need to bring it over here and open it up in this window. Okay, so I opened up that HTML file, and Dreamweaver gives me this version of Dreamweaver gives me some nice options here of how I see stuff. So right now it comes up in design view. I can split the screen so that I see the HTML over here, and then I'll see design view on this side, and that's probably the way I work most commonly. But you can control all of that here. So if I'm used to the previous versions of Dreamweaver and I like it split vertically, so I like to see the HTML on the top and the design on the bottom, this default menu right up here lets me do that. But I really like this vertical split tool here. Okay, so I'm just going to give this little name. This is my layout. Okay, now in the next tutorial we'll start laying out these regions, but that's just a little introduction, getting things set up, getting things ready to go. And in part 2 we'll start putting in our regions or our div tags.